It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-Commerce Minute episode number 601.
In today's episode, Nike parts ways with Amazon.
Athletic retail giant Nike will stop selling its products on Amazon, officially ending a 2-year pilot program. The pilot program originally began as a means to prevent counterfeit Nike products from being sold on the marketplace. The program made sense for Nike since Amazon has publicly struggled with its counterfeits for years. Ultimately, Nike struggled to compete against third-party listings who would often benefit from having more reviews than Nike's listings. Now the company is taking its products elsewhere. In his statement announcing the break with Amazon, Nike said it would continue to pursue other partnership relationships. And Nike spokesman notes, quote, "We will continue to invest in strong, distinctive partnerships for Nike and other retailers and platforms to seamlessly serve our consumers globally," end quote. That sounds like PR speak to me. That includes strong partnerships with Dick's Sporting Goods and Foot Locker, which has deepened to include joint store concepts and integrations with Nike's mobile app. The move also comes at a time when Nike is increasingly emphasizing direct-to-consumer sales through its platforms like the Nike app and Nike.com. Meanwhile, rumor has it that Amazon was ready for an announcement like this from Nike, so moves were made to ensure that the athletic company's products are still available from third-party sellers.
Shady.
Well, here's the problem. You know who loses in this? The customer loses because you can still buy Nike products on Amazon. You just don't know. You're back to the original problem, which is you're not entirely sure of the authenticity of it. So this was basically a big circle that started as solving a problem, and you wound up with the same exact problem in the end.
So I guess people who are like serious about Nikes though will start like shopping directly from Nike, I guess.
Let's do it this way. Think about there's two kinds of sneaker consumers: the casual, I'm just buying on price, or I'm buying whatever looks good, or I'm buying for I'm brand loyal. And people who are brand loyal, you know, I don't know. I don't have data in front of me, but if you're buying a premium shoe, especially if you're a runner, you know, running shoes are not $30. Running shoes are $140 and up. Mm-hmm. And if you think something's shady on a website such as Amazon, which now has that reputation, you're going to look elsewhere. You're going to go direct to Nike, because I don't think that you can really compete on price. I don't know if Nike's like that, where they do deep discounts, except through their outlet stores. So I don't think it might be apples to apples. And I think Nike knows that and says, we want you just to we want to be a D2C company. We don't want to have to deal with this third party. Yeah. We'll do it begrudgingly because we think we have to for now, but perhaps they are making that shift, and it may be a permanent shift.
Especially since D2C brands are like popping off right now. Like,
yeah, that's
their moment.
That's a D2C moment, right? So I think it's a smart move from them. They're only bringing in 30% annual sales from direct to consumer, but you have to think how that's going to grow, because that's, as Brittany said, that's where things are headed. Mm-hmm. And there's another stat: about 68% of Nike's annual sales comes from wholesale channels, down from 81% in 2013. So there's a big shift there at Nike. I don't know. You know, listen, we have the elephant in the room is Amazon. They got this counterfeit problem. They don't have good brand control over a lot of stuff. Bart, what was one of the first stories we did about the fake Birkenstocks? That's still a thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's still a thing.
Well,
there was a whole podcast. I forget what it was. I forget, it was one of the business podcasts. And the guy from Birkenstock was like, yeah, Amazon is a piece of crap.
Well, in two ways, right? There's a whole bunch of counterfeit goods, which still have a problem, but Amazon does counterfeiting too, kind of.
Oh, yeah, the knockoffs,
the knockoff. I mean, they just kind of copied Allbirds, and
they completely copied Allbirds and basically went meh, come and get us.
But they're also copying a lot of stuff. If you look at all their products that are by them, right? The Amazon Essential products, they're all copies.
Yep,
pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, you go for it, and then they're essential, or the brands that you don't know they're brands. Although they started putting on, was it Goodthreads? I think they're starting to put a marker that says it's an Amazon brand. So I think they're
Because
starting
yeah,
to
they do. I mean, I'd have to look it up, but they do have so many. What do you call it? Private brand. They have so many private labels owned by Amazon, and I don't think the average consumer realizes how much there are. They just go on there and say, "Oh, here's this shirt by Good Threads." That now does Good Threads. Good Threads is just the first one that came to mind, but there may be some other obscure ones. Like they sell furniture, they sell housewares. There's all these different companies that I don't think people realize that are under Amazon's umbrella. And they do that strictly to show more assortment, I would think.
Yeah, Good Threads. If you look at just their on there, I think it's exclusively on Amazon. So I don't think Good Threads is an actual
Amazon brand. Oh, see, yeah, it says right on here is Amazon brand Good Threads. So if you look up a shirt, Amazon brand Good Threads men's the perfect Oxford shirt, slim fit, long sleeve, solid.
Right.
It starts with Amazon brand, but I don't think the other brands mark themselves in that way. And I think in the Good Threads case is that Amazon has really been pushing fashion and all of their fashion products. And I think they're using Good Threads as their premier, not their premier men's brand, but their value priced, decent quality men's fashion brand.
Yep.
Not quite like Walmart does, because Walmart just has bonobos, but that is just like a completely like, I don't think a lot of people realize that Walmart owns bonobos.
Yeah, but also like if you look at, I mean, Target just put up some crazy numbers in clothing, and they're killing it.
My sweater's from Target.
They're killing it in Target, right?
It's
So
great.
it kind of makes it's interesting. But let's go back to the actual meat of the story. Is like there is counterfeit stuff on Amazon because just when you do fulfillment by Amazon, I mean, do they really check it?
No,
I mean, they might, but I don't think there's enough. There's so much stuff on there.
Yeah, I think it's just too hard. I mean, if you do fulfillment by Amazon, you're basically sending just crates of stuff to a warehouse, and the worker is just picking and pulling. They're not, maybe they do. I'm just guessing here. I mean, maybe they do a random like every container that comes in. Okay, check this container, but they're just working on so much volume. It's how would you be able to verify each piece?
Right.
It's a difficult situation.
Also on the flip side, I'll be interested to see how Nike competes with Adidas, because I know for a while there, Adidas was doing the darn thing, like with their Adidas Originals line. Like Nike was literally second to them, like in trendiness. So I'll be very interested to see how they do against them now that I guess they're putting like more focus on D2C.
Yeah, well, it's funny how this goes back and forth with brands. A lot of it has to do with just not even so much the product, but culture in itself, where it's like, what's the cool brand of the hour?
Right. And for a while it was Adidas.
And for a while it was Adidas. And then it was Nike. And then it was, I mean, how many, I don't know if you guys remember when all the girls were wearing Champion sweatshirts. Like that was a thing. And then Champion went out of style, and now Champion's back.
Like
I love Champion. I wear Champion.
And it goes back and forth. It's very cyclical, and it's, the one cool segment of kids age out, and then the next one comes in, and you don't know what's going to be next.
Not to mention, Adidas has all those really like important partnerships with like Urban. Like Urban has so much cool Adidas original stuff too. So I'm wondering if Nike's going to do more of that kind of thing.
I think Adidas appeals to a different type of consumer. I think Nike is more strictly sports, sports. Not, and I don't want to say athletics and sports, because I mean, Adidas, you think of like kids who play soccer. Nike, you think of like all sports. You think of football, you think of basketball, especially. I don't think Adidas, you really think about basketball.
Right.
I think Adidas is more of a niche, but it's I'm partial to Adidas only because Nikes just don't fit me right. But yeah, that's me.
I feel that.
And I like their clothing. I think some of the Nike stuff's weird. But anyway, Brittany, why don't you tell us about today's sponsor?
Hey, listeners. Did you know that Sumo Heavy has a weekly newsletter? Yep, you heard that correctly. Sumo Heavy publishes a weekly newsletter filled with our latest blog posts, e-commerce news, and tips, as well as e-commerce events and job listings. We've also got a feature called Our Latest Obsession, which is our one favorite thing we found on the internet that week. Each jam-packed email drops bright and early every Friday morning. You can also catch it on our socials. So get in the know and join our other super smart subscribers and head over to bit.ly/Sumo Heavy newsletter. You can subscribe and also read all of our past issues while you're there. So don't get left out. All the cool kids are doing it. Subscribe. Go now.
Yes, do it now. Sumo Heavy newsletter, bit.ly/Sumo Heavy newsletter. Go check it out. Do a quick stat time. All right, since I spoiled all the other stats in the middle of the episode, we got two left. Nike reported $10.2 billion in revenue in the 3 months ended August 31st, up about 7% from a year earlier period. That's according to CNBC. And Nike did business with 30,000 retailers in 2017. In the future, it'll limit itself to 40 partners. That's weird. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
All right, that's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe, or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media @Sumo Heavy.